Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another new releases video. This is honestly one of my favorite videos to film. I know it's one of y'all's favorite videos to watch because I see the numbers. I know you all enjoy this. I know you enjoy hearing my thoughts. And quite frankly, I just like talking about makeup. So I enjoy filming these videos. So if you're excited to hear how I feel about all of the new releases coming out, what I think about them, and particularly how I feel about when they will go on sale and how they will go on sale, just keep on watching and click that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Okay, so before we dive into it, I know y'all are gonna ask what is on my eyes. I'm actually using the Rick and Morty palette from Glamlite. I did end up picking this up, which is really funny because in the last makeup releases video, I talked a lot of smack about not getting this. Oh, this is just like the Scooby-Doo palette, and then I went ahead and bought it. So I did end up picking it up. I am planning to do a review on it. No, I didn't film this look. I should have because she's gorgeous. But that's what I'm wearing on my eyes. And drum roll, please, because this is really important. On my lips, I am wearing the lip cream in the shade Tracy from Sydney Grace. So many of you guys have asked me about this lip cream because I wear it all the time. In my opinion, this is the perfect lip for me. I can wear it without lip liner. Whenever I don't want to put on my lip, I just throw this on. But this was a limited edition release. It wasn't supposed to come back, and y'all kept asking on Instagram what I was wearing because most of my pictures had this lip cream on. And I was like, y'all, it's the Sydney Grace Tracy shade, and I just kept tagging them, so they are bringing it back. I am stoked. This is because of y'all, and I just want to say thank you so much because as much as this is for you guys, it's for me too. Like seriously, I have been having a little bit of a panic attack because I'm running low. I have this much left of the lip cream because I use it that much, but it's coming back. It's going to be a part of their line. So if you are interested in this, it should be available during the Sydney Grace Christmas in July sale. So be sure to stock up. Be sure to grab it if you are interested in it. Like on a real, if you have never tried the Sydney Grace lip cream formula, chef's kiss. This has to be like my top 3, mainly because it gives full opacity, but it's not matte, it's not glossy in terms of like sticky. So it has a very unique texture where I wear this as a lipstick and it's very comfortable. Obviously it is a little bit on the glossy side. Obviously it is not transfer proof, but if you are not somebody that can wear matte lipstick for very long and it's very uncomfortable on you, and you need something that's a little bit more moisturizing and a little bit more hydrating, but you want opacity, you don't want the sheerness of a gloss, you will love these lip creams. I do. I'm obsessed with this. I have one other shade, but Tracy's that girl. So it's gonna be back. Make sure you check it out. Once it is available, I will tag you guys, and I will probably be sharing some of my recommendations for the Sydney Grace Christmas in July sale. So let me know if you guys are interested in that because I can probably do a whole video on that. Well, I don't know when the sale happening, so let me not make too much promises. Maybe, because I'm realizing we're already in July. So I don't want to make too much promises. Depending on what my schedule looks like, I will try. If not, I might just do a quick shorts with it, just like, here are my top 5 things to check out during the sale. Okay, so I rambled for a little bit, but I had to let y'all know because I was so excited. But let's go ahead and get into the new makeup releases. I'm going to go ahead and scooch this side. I'm going to pull up makeup on my radar, and we're just going to run through the releases. As I kind of want to be doing with this, I'm not going to go through every single product that has released because some of them I'm not interested in. Some of them I don't think you all are interested in. So I'm going to try to stick to the ones that you all want to know about and the ones that I am most interested in. All right. Okay, so starting from the top, I see the P. Louise Academy is releasing a world full of wonder. What is happening? So there are 4 eyeshadow palettes, and it took me a minute to figure out that it wasn't just 2 eyeshadow palettes because there's 2 purple leaning ones. One is kind of purple pinky and one is kind of purple blue. But at first I'm like, is that the same palette just twice? And then there are 2 neutral ones, and one is like neutral warm and the other one is neutral. You see, like, it's very hot. And it looks like they have a brush set as well. I've never tried anything from P. Louise makeup. I'm not interested in picking this up. I will say, taking aside the weirdness of these 4 color stories, it's also very, very large. for this palette with a lot of repeat shades. Like, these could have been two 9-pound palettes. I don't understand why these are so big. You know what? Let me keep on moving. No need to keep going down there. It looks like Notoriously Morbid is sneak peeking something. I don't know what it is, but it looks pretty. It's multi-chromes. And as we're on the topic of Notoriously Morbid, I want to address something I said in my last video. In my last video, I talked about the price of Notoriously Morbid, and I compared it to, I believe, Cosmic brushes. And I want to actually say that that was a very unfair comparison. And a lot of you guys pointed this out in the comments, and it's something that I did not address really well. There is a huge difference between Notoriously Morbid and a brand like Cosmic brushes. Notoriously Morbid is handmade shadows. So somebody's there pressing those shadows, where Cosmic brushes and some of these other indie brands are mass purchasing these from retailers in like China or somewhere else. So I think that there is a justifiable difference between the price of a hand pressed shadow and one that is mass produced. So it was an unfair comparison, so I just want to address that because it doesn't sit right with my spirit to just be comparing apples and oranges, you know? Not even apples and oranges, because they're not even fruit at this point. Comparing fruits and vegetables, that's what I feel like I did in that video, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Anyways, Clarity Cosmetics is sneak peeking something. It looks like they call this the Lost at Sea palette, which, interesting. I feel like so many brands have these sea-themed palettes. I don't know if it's because of Little Mermaid or what, but I wonder what it's going to look like. The packaging is giving Odin's Eye. Tell me I'm lying. It looks like an Odin's Eye palette just from the packaging. So I'll be interested to see what it looks like. I'm going to assume that it's going to be a lot of blues, greens, teals, that kind of color story. Okay, so one size is adding a shade to their powder foundation. They turn up the base versatile powder foundation. And this is just white. Does anybody need a white powder foundation? I guess maybe for drag? For stage makeup? Okay, I could see it. I think in reality, none of us are wearing white. And I mean like white, not like beige, like straight up white paper sheet white powder foundation. I don't think any of us are really wearing that. So in terms of like real life versatility and application, I don't think it's really there. But I could see it for like stage makeup. I could see it for drag. So I get it. So, okay. So it's available now and it's going to be $38 and it has a matte finish. So there you go. Now this piqued my interest. Nabla Cosmetics is coming out with single shadows and a quad compact. So the quad compact is really interesting because it looks a lot like the Fenty design in terms of it's stackable. And y'all remember when Fenty had their little stackable palettes? I think those were 6 bands, so you could stack them together. This is a similar concept except it's quads. Now, it looks like you are able to build the quad yourself though. And I think the Fenty ones were pre-made. So you can exactly create your own quad. You had to pick whatever color store it was already there. I can't tell you what the prices are, but I did see some speculation that it's between $650 and $950. There are some multi-chromes, there are mattes, some satins, and some celestial shades. So a decent variety. I don't know how much there is in total. I'll be interested to see what the prices actually does work out to be, because if the multi-chromes are in that $950 price point, that's not bad. But then I get the question for me though is, are people interested in a build your own quad? Is that something that you want? Or would you prefer a larger magnetic palette that you could then build a full palette? And also, what is the price of that going to be? Because as much as I like single shadows, I have to admit the price of building your own palette is significantly more expensive than buying a fully curated palette. So for me, I don't have much of an interest in buying single shadows because I know cost-wise, it doesn't work out to be economical. And a lot of people like to use the argument that it is more economical because you are picking the exact shades that you want, so you don't have a palette where you're only going to use a subset of the shades. But to be quite frank, at this point, there are very few palettes in my collection where I only use a subset. That used to happen to me when I was not really well versed in makeup, and I would buy palettes from brands that did not cater to my skin tone, so they would have all of these ashy mattes that I could never use. But now I feel like my collection is fully curated with palettes that have shades that all work for me. So for example, and I'm just using the Rick and Morty one because it's hair. This is the Rick and Morty palette. There are no ashy shades here. So it's not like I would not be able to use every single shade in this palette. May I reach for some more than others? Yeah, absolutely. But I would be able to use all these shades. It's not like there's like a complete ashy row. What might be a problem for me, and I did buy this one, y'all, because I had like a $15 off at Ulta, is this Yucca palette from Natasha Denona, right? Haven't used it yet, so forgive me. But this is one where a decent portion of the shades might not work for me because of the color story and the depth here and the fact that those yellow-green shades don't show up on my complexion. So I see that. But going back to my original point, I do not think the economical argument works for me anymore because I do think it turns out to be pretty expensive once you start building your own palette, especially depending on the type of shades that you pick. Like if you are more interested in multi-chromes than anything else, it's going to be pricey versus if you just wanted standard satins or standard shimmers. Like I know my girl Cara, she did a build your own palette from Lethal, and the price of that was not cheap compared to like if she bought a pre-made Lethal palette. So just something to consider if you were interested in getting into build your own palettes. And I definitely recommend you look at creators who do buy singles and who do build your own palettes to hear their thoughts on what like the actual cost of it could be. That was much longer than I wanted it to be. Am I interested in it? Maybe. I do like the Nabla formula. Their shadows tend to be very well made. They're Italian made shadows, so maybe, but not at that price. And Nabla is sold in Ulta, so I would be curious to see if this does come to Ulta. It's not a US based brand, so I think that's an important point too, is that Nabla is not a US based brand. So whether or not it shows up in the US in like a Ulta for me to buy it is another question. Okay, so Laura Mercier is going to be releasing a new eyeshadow palette. I don't know the name of this, but this looked like it was kind of leaked, and it's going to be available in Asia in early August. So who knows when it's going to come to the US. Did Laura used to sell eyeshadow, or is this new? I have never tried a Laura Mercier eyeshadow palettes. I can't even tell you what this might function like. What I can tell you is at least two of the shades don't even look like they could be used. They can't even be used as blend out shades to me. The two top shades are light as hell. They look like they will just be ashy as hell. Maybe they could be an inner corner highlight. Maybe they could be a brow bone highlight, but no. There's one deep brown shade that I am very skeptical actually looks like that in real life. So these pictures are suspicious as hell. So not interested at all. At all. Apparently Patrick Tar is releasing a new shade of his blush duo. It's called She's Giving. That shade reminds me of the holiday limited edition set that he did with like the smaller pans. So I wonder if it actually is a new shade or if it is that holiday shade. And there is a picture of him comparing it to She's a Doll. You know, here's the thing. I bought that Patrick Tar holiday trio with the 6 shades. So it's 3 mattes and 3 creams. I've never used it. It has been sitting in my basket of shame for over a year now at this point. I don't know why I never used it, but I never felt intrigued enough to use it. And that's very weird for me because I love a good blush palette. I prefer blush palettes over single blushes because I can go in, I can mix and match the shades. So the fact that I haven't touched that one at all is strange. I need to pull it out. I need to put it in my everyday makeup drawer so I can use it and figure out if I actually like the formula. Because I feel like I've heard mixed reviews. I feel like some people like it and I feel like some people don't. So I don't know. I have to try it. And apologies, the sun is doing a lot of things. It is about 5:30 right now over here, so the sun is gonna sun, y'all. Okay, so let's talk about this. NBA Cosmetics, they are releasing dual-ended multi-chrome eyeshadow / highlighters. Interesting. Oh, wait, hold up. So it's supposed to be an eyeshadow stick, and so it's not like a multi-chrome liner, which I'm not a huge fan of the multi-chrome liners. I sold my Adept multi-chrome liners because it just didn't really make sense for me to keep them. So I never even opened them or used them. I just sold them as is. I sold that bundle. I think the stick thing is actually kind of cool because eyeshadow sticks can be really great for like quick application. Do I use them? No. Would it make sense for me to buy it? Probably not. I do think it could be great for travel if you do travel a lot and you don't want to take like your multi-chrome powders because you don't want it to break, because that might be much easier to travel with. And I think the fact that this is a dual stick thing could actually be really cool. So I guess it just depends on how much product you're getting on either side, you know, if it makes sense or if it would finish really quickly. That being said though, it is $12.50 each, which means for each side of that dual-ended product, it's what, $6.25, which is not bad. Like, think about it, $6.25 for a multi-chrome shadow, and then $6.25 for a, it looks more like a dual-chrome highlighter. That is not bad. And if you want the full set, it's $66, and it comes in 6 colors. So I don't think that's a bad price at all. Am I gonna get it? No, I actually have never purchased anything from NBA Cosmetics, because it does feel like most other indie brands out there in the market. And if you have a large multi-chrome collection, it doesn't look like any of these shades are new or exciting flips. These are the standard flips that we see all the time. So something just to be mindful of. Ooh, now Chanel looks like they have some new lipsticks coming out. This is going to be 12 shades of their Le Rouge lipstick. I don't know what the price of this is going to be, but it's probably, what, $60? That's a minimum. I don't need no Chanel lipsticks. I'm just looking at it because the packaging looks cool. They got this little clear case with some gold on there. It's some cheap plastic packaging, but it kind of looks cute. I'll admit that fully. Okay, so Tatcha is releasing their cleansing balm. It's going to be on sale for $38. That's actually not a bad price. I think it just depends on the amount of product you're going to get there, because Tatcha is a pretty expensive brand. I thought it was going to be like $60 for this cleansing balm. But what should be like half an ounce? If it is a decent size, I don't think that's bad, because that's like the price of the Clinique cleansing balm. Yeah, interesting. What do they even claim? And it doesn't seem like they claim that this has any crazy ingredients that have ridiculously unrealistic claims to it. So, okay. Okay, so this is interesting. Glamlite is doing another collab with Hershey's Cookies and Cream. So they have an eyeshadow palette coming out. It looks like a highlighter duo and some lip products. I mean, they did it already. Like, they already did Hershey's. Why are we doing it again? Like, I kinda understood it with the Scooby-Doo collection. Kinda. But why we need a second Hershey's collection? We didn't. And quite frankly, I would love to see Glamlite do something that's not tied to them collabing with a brand. It feels like every release they've come out with lately has been a collab. It was Scooby-Doo, Rick and Morty, Chucky. Everything has been collab after collab after collab. So I would like to see them do something that's not a collab. That being said, the Glamlite formula is Chef's Kiss. And there's usually a coupon code, so you don't have to pay full price for it. Oh, they also have a chocolate one. So you could either get the cookies and cream one, or you could get the milk chocolate option, which is a neutral palette. That gold highlight does look good, though. Anyways, either way, the cookies and cream PR box is going to be $65. And you get 4 products. No. Yes. Okay, let me back it up. So there are 2 collections available, right? There's the cookies and cream one, and then there's the milk chocolate option. Now, if you want to get the full collection, you have the option to get it with the PR box or without the PR box. Quite frankly, I don't think it makes sense to get a PR box because you're going to recycle it anyway, unless you want it for the aesthetic of doing a video and you want to show that you have the PR box. But I don't think it's necessary to have the PR box. Now, if you buy it without the PR box, it's going to be $52. With the PR box, it's going to be $65. So the box itself is $13. Is that right? Yeah, the box itself is... Do not pay $13 for a box. Okay? Do not pay $13 for a box. That being said, if you buy it without the box, it's $52 and you get 3/4 products. And I say /4 products because you get the eyeshadow palette, which by itself is $22. The lip kit is $18, and that's 2 products. You get the lip liner and the lipstick, I believe. And then you have the body bronzer. So the chocolate one comes with a face and body bronzer. The cookies and cream one comes with a highlighter. So, and that's $14. So essentially it's 4 products for $52, which is not bad at all. I will say one thing about Glamlite is that their prices are some of the best that are out there. And y'all know I've been complaining about indie prices and makeup prices in general for weeks now because it's kind of ridiculous. But Glamlite has the best prices, period. Just don't pay $13 for a box. Is that even a decent... What does this box even look like? Y'all, whatever it looks like, it's definitely not worth $13. Trust and believe. But either way, I do think both palettes are kind of... They've been there, done that. Nothing new, nothing special. The color story isn't anything particularly inspiring, in my opinion. So Valentino Beauty has some... What are these? Soft matte lipsticks and blushes. Oh, so I guess these are dual products. You could use it as a lipstick or a blush. Not interested in this. They're going to be $40 a piece. I don't care. Moving along. Chanel, and this is a sneak peek. They have some new quads. And these actually do look cute. But they look Christmassy. So I'm going to assume that this is going to be a fall-winter release. Because that red and green and gold kind of color story is giving me Christmas. So, is it pretty? Yes. Is it new? Revolutionary? No. And these stock images probably don't have the best representation of the actual color and saturation. So, I don't know. I will say these pan sizes do look slightly bigger than usual. So, I wonder if it is more product though. That being said, their quads are already like $85, I believe. So, we don't need more product for it to be more expensive. Anyways, I'm probably not going to get that at all because it's really expensive. Even though they haven't listed the price. Apparently, Kylie Cosmetics is releasing an all matte palette. I forgot she had a brand. No shade. I was like, who is this? It looked like the Makeup Mario Master Mattes palette. But then I was like, oh, Kylie Cosmetics. It's going to be available July 12th. I think that's tomorrow. No, the day after tomorrow. We still buying Kylie. And no shit, I just asked it because I didn't know if we were still doing that. Anyways, so Black Moxie Cosmetics, they are releasing an eyeshadow palette. It's called the Alien Universe palette. It's 9 pans with 5 mattes, 3 multichromes, and 1 duochrome. I am pretty interested in this, not gonna lie. So I do have a code with the brand. It's not affiliated, so I don't make any money from it. But it's just Jamila. It'll save you 10%. I think it's 10%. All that is down below in the description box. And I do get PR from the brand, but I am not getting this in PR. And I will say I really do enjoy the Black Moxie Cosmetics eyeshadow formula. So this is, I believe, yeah, these are handmade shadows too. So it's not, whatchamacallit, like private labeled products. And I will say I really, really enjoy their shadows. I think that their multichromes are super nice. The ones that I have, the ones that I've purchased. Because I have some that I bought on my own and I have some that they've sent me in PR. And I really, really enjoy them. I think that their mattes are pretty decent too. Do they stand out in my mind as like anything special in terms of matte formulas? Honestly, no. But they don't stand out as like bad mattes either. So I probably will pick this up on my own. Oh, and I did reach out to the brand to ask them about the pre-order because I don't exactly have the best relationship with pre-orders, and I just don't want to do it. And they said that the pre-order is going to be about a week and a half. So if you are planning to pick this up and you were concerned about pre-orders and having to wait, you don't have to wait for months. It's a week and a half, which is not bad in reality. So I probably will end up picking this up. Like I said, it's going to be $40. With a discount code, you could probably get it down a little bit. So not terrible, but, you know, also not the cheapest thing on the market. And Radar, makeup on my Radar also has a code. It's Radar 15. So maybe my code is 15% off. That's probably what it is. But it is going to be in the description box if you guys are interested in picking it up. Okay, so Beauty Creations Cosmetics. I have never heard of this, but they have a purple collection coming out, and I think it's a collab with Louis Castro. I don't know who that is, but it's a purple palette, and the images are cute. I don't need another purple palette, but this is cute. It's a little large for my taste. I don't know. I think large palettes with circle pans bother me. It's very weird. But when I see a large palette and it has square pans, I'm okay with it. AKA Blend Bunny palettes or the Glamlite palettes. Like, this is a pretty large palette, but I don't mind that these are square. I don't mind because these pans are square. But large palettes with circle pans, something about it I don't like. And this one I think might just be too large for me with the circle pans. I know it don't make any kind of sense, but let me have it. Okay, so Creature Cosmetics, they have Return of the Living Dead. It looks like this is a collab. I don't even know what this is, y'all, but it's kind of creepy looking. And I don't know what this is, but I don't want it. Not today, Satan. So Glossier, they have a ultra lip product that they're releasing. This looks like a lip balm. It probably is a lip balm. Y'all know Glossier is about that no makeup or little makeup kind of trend. It's gonna be $18. No, it's not terrible. Here's the thing. I don't think Glossier is a brand that has ever really piqued my interest, but there is a Glossier store in the city here, in Philly. So I kind of just want to go to the store for going to the store's sake. So maybe I'll do that and try to vlog it because it could be a cool experience. I mean, I live in the city. I should take advantage of, well, I don't live in the city, but I live very close to the city in terms of, like, it's very easy to get there. So we do have, like, the Glossier store there. There's also a pretty sizable Sephora there that has a Pat McGrath makeup counter that I should probably go check out as well. So maybe I'll do, like, a day of that and just, like, be a city girl for a minute. I'm not a city girl, y'all. I like the burbs. I like the suburbs. Okay, moving along. Moira Cosmetics. It looked like these liquid blushes. Aren't they the ones with those pretty, like, blushes? Like, the powder blushes? I think they are. Oh, wait, hold up now. These blushes are $8.50. Now, those are prices I like to see. I was real ready to just keep on scrolling, but $8.50. If you want the full bundle, it's going to be $89.50. And how many for 12 shades? That's not bad at all. Now, do you need 12 blush shades? Absolutely not. But if you had one you were interested in, or 2 or 3, that's not a bad price, to be honest. Like, House Labs blushes are $38 for one. No, ma'am. So, so there are 6 radiant finishes. There are 6 that have a radiant finish and 6 that have a matte finish. So, not bad. It's cruelty-free, vegan, paraben-free, sulfate, phthalate, and gluten-free. My interest has been piqued because I'm not going to lie, these shades are nice. They are really nice. Like, that chemistry shade, I'm going to add this to my wish list. I kind of want to try Steady and Chemistry. And they're orange blushes. Ooh, I love you, ILY. Is this cherry red shade? Yes, baby. Okay. Whew, I'm getting all tingly. I'm gonna move on, but my interest has been piqued. So I need to try them. I do know that they did have some powder blushes that I saw and I have always wanted, but never actually went ahead of buying it. And I think I wonder if it's because Moira Cosmetics is not exactly a brand that is sold in stores to my knowledge. So I have to buy it online, and their products are, you know, drugstore pricing and like original drugstore pricing, which means that in order for me to get free shipping, I have to buy a bunch. So I didn't actually buy anything. So maybe I probably need to check out their website and make like a sizable purchase to try the brand. So I'll probably try some blushes and some of the other products that they have. But now I'm interested. Okay, so it looks like Dossier, and that's the fragrance brand. They do a lot of dupes for other like super expensive fragrances. So they have a couple of new fragrances coming out. I might want to consider picking some of these up. I know that Cara is supposed to be getting a couple of these in PR. I believe there are 4 new fragrances, and she might be getting 2 of them in PR. I really like the Dossier brand. I have a couple of fragrances that I've gotten in PR from them. I also have some that I've purchased on my own because they are really, really nice. They're also sold at Walmart now. So if you didn't want to buy it online from them, you could buy it at Walmart. So pretty accessible. And I will say that they do a very, very good job at matching it and getting like the exact same scent as the brands that they dupe. So I'm always really happy about that. And I think that they last a really long time. So if you have issues with like your fragrances fading, or you're worried about that because it is not the original, I actually think they last a good amount of time. And I don't know about y'all, but it don't sit well with my spirit to pay $400 for a perfume. That's just me. Because here's the thing, right? The difference between perfume and eyeshadow and makeup, right, is that when I wear Pat McGrath, you can tell I'm wearing Pat McGrath. There's just a different shimmer, a different glimmer to it that you can tell. It's very visual. With fragrances, I don't think most people have the nose or the nose receptors to be able to decipher if you are actually wearing Chanel No. 5 or the Dossier dupe for Chanel No. 5. See what I'm saying? Because it's not visual. It's all about smell. And smell is such a unique thing to most people that it's like some people just don't have like that level of like scent receptors, if that makes sense. But yeah, not bad. So these fragrances are going to be $29 a piece. And I do think that there might be some codes floating around that you can use to actually get it for cheaper. Ooh, one of these has grapefruit in it. One of these has rum as one of the notes. My 2 favorite things, grapefruit and rum. So it looks like Oden's Eye is re-releasing their Noan's eyeshadow palette. 1 with bigger size pans, it looks like, and 2, I'm going to assume that this is the new formula. Because the old Noan's formula, very different from the new formula. So much so that I decluttered my Noan's palette because once I started testing them new Oden's palettes, I was like, no. This and this don't add up. So I decluttered all of my old Oden's Eye palettes because the formula there just wasn't hitting the way this new formula is. So am I going to replace it with this new one? Honestly, probably not. While I do think that this is a beautiful color story, and I do have a video where I think I did 3 looks using this palette, I don't think that this would be the one that I pick up. Quite frankly, I want those 2 new palettes. That little forest green one, and whatever the other one is, that jewel collection. That's what I want to buy. So that's on my wish list before this one. But if you were interested in Oden's, if you're interested in this, and yeah, if this color story calls to you, you might consider picking it up. And now they have the updated pans. Yeah, that old one was in the circle pans. Yeah, I don't like circle pans. I've decided. It's very random. You and I are coming to this revelation together that I don't think I like these circle pans. Okay, it looks like there's also a second shade of Patrick Tar blush. This is She's Wanted. This is a deep maroon plum shade. This is delicious looking. These type of shades scare me because I'm not very good at the blush. And those type of shades do kind of make me look like somebody hit me in the face and I'm bruised. So I'm gonna probably stay away from this one, but it is cute. She cute. Oh, this is pretty. So Ofra, they have a blush trio, and it's just orange. It looks like it's 2 blush and a highlight, and they're pretty. Okay, so it's a cream blush, a powder blush, and a highlight. Or blush topper. Oh, it also has a pink one. Okay. So it looks like they have this little, you know that Dior pink blush that everybody wants? So they have a pinkish one of that in a trio or an orange one. Okay. What is the price of this though? Oh, these are $35. I don't think anything from Over is worth $35, but I digress. Okay, we're not even going to address this She Glam makeup thing. Isn't that Shein's makeup line? Yeah. No, thank you. It looks like they're lipsticks. They're $4.99, so they're cheap at least. But yeah, we're not doing that. Another Chanel collection. This looks like it's their fall collection. Looks like there are these 2 blush shades, 2 powder blush shades, and are those? What are those? I don't even know what this is. Some lip balms, some, I guess those are nail polish. I think this is blush. Anyways, it launches August 4th. I don't want that. Those blushes are probably $60 a piece, and something about them don't look like they're gonna perform well. So, not interested. I was until I started swiping, and I was just like, you know what? I'm good. I'm A-okay on that. So Juvia's Place, they are releasing some lip oils. They're going to be $10 a piece. That's actually not bad price-wise. Plus, Juvia's Place is technically considered drugstore. So you could use, and they're sold at Ulta, so you could use an Ulta coupon to get them at a higher discount. So not bad in the grand scheme of things if you wanted a lip oil and you wanted to pay less. These are some weird shades, I will say that. Like, I get the orange, I get the pink, the blue, green, and yellow. Maybe not. Like, we could have done a little bit of brown, a little nude. But we got blue, pink, and yellow. Blue, green, and yellow. So, okay then. So, Hank Henry Beauty is releasing their pastel collection, which is a collection of 9-pan palettes. I thought we were done with this. Like, ColourPop did this a while back. They had a bunch of 9-pans that were monochromatic. So, now these are 2, 4, 5 monochromatic 9-pan palettes. And it looks like there's a pressed glitter in each of them. No thank you. They're going to be $25 a piece, which is not bad. The entire bundle of 5 is going to be $65. I'm sorry, what? Mathematically, that don't make no kind of sense. If each 9-pan palette is $25... but you buy the bundle and you pay $65, and it says a value of $125, which mathematically, yes, that makes sense. How are they giving basically a 50% discount for buying the full bundle? Because 65 divided by 5 is 11, which means that each palette they're technically selling for $11 if you buy the bundle, but if you buy it singly, each palette is $25. That's just that. You see, I'm not a business person, but I don't understand the business of that. So if you do, let me know, because I'm really confused by that. You know. Either way, it is more economical for you to buy the bundle. In a lot, unless you really, really, really only want one palette, it's more economical for you to buy the bundle. Because if you want 2 palettes, that's already $50. You might as well spend the extra $15 and get the full 5, and then either sell the others that you didn't want. Like, but that's also how they get you, right? When you buy more because it's cheaper. But typically, when a brand has something like that, where you have like a bundle, it works out to be, instead of $125, $100, which is kind of like buy 4, get the 5th free. That, I think, makes sense mathematically and in terms of discounts, because that's what I'm used to seeing. This is like buy 2, get 3 free, kind of. I don't know, man. That math is weird for me. And apparently, Papa Owl will be signing all the bundles. Does anybody know who that is? Who is Papa Owl? Is it a real owl? Like, is it going to be like an owl? Was that a claw print on the palettes? Okay. I really want to know who Papa Owl is. Okay, let's talk about this one. Because when I saw this, I just saw Ash. And this is the Natasha Denona Mini Starlet palette. Y'all, this looks so gray and ashy and casket ready that I was like, Tasha, now girl. Even the swatches on the dark couldn't even help this palette. It just looked like ash. There's zero depth to this. There is no way this is gonna do anything but look ashy on anybody deeper than that first arm. So don't get this. And I feel like the Natasha Denona Millie palettes just don't make a lot of sense to me, which I know is very hypocritical because I bought Pat McGrath's little 2 itty bitty baby palettes, and those are the tiniest things ever, and they have 6 shades. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. And I think these are supposed to be repeats from her Star palettes, but I looked at that Star palette, which I think is $185, right? Or something to that effect. And there are deep shades in that Star palette. So you mean to tell me, Tasha, you look at that palette and chose the 5 ashier shades? Sis. Trifling. I'm just kidding, y'all. It's really not that deep. But I will say it does look ashy. I was just like, oh, okay, cool. And that means that I've never bought any of her mini palettes. I've never been interested in them. I would much rather just buy her midi palettes. That's as low as I'll go, is her midi palettes. So this has never been for my demographic. And I will say that I think that there are people who are at all of these tiers. Like, there are people who want Tasha's big $125 palettes, and people who want her 65 midi palettes, and people who want her mini palettes only. So I assume that there's a customer base for each of her tiers, and this is just not, I'm just not the customer for this. And nobody that looks like me is the customer for this too, because y'all, the ash. Whew. Okay, so Charlotte Tilbury, it looks like she released in a spray. This is going to be her Radiant Skin Rescue Essence. I'm not interested in this, but it does look like it has great ingredients. It has hyaluronic acid plus niacinamide, so my skin loves both of those. I just don't know if this is actually going to do anything. Like, I wouldn't go to Charlotte for skincare, so this is something that's an easy skip for me. That being said, though, Charlotte Tilbury's setting spray is probably the best matte setting spray I've ever tried, which takes a lot for me to say that. So she does have a good track record when it comes to sprays, in my opinion, because that one is bomb.com. Like, it is mattifying. It doesn't have a ton of fragrance to it. It's also not super harsh on the skin. Like, the one size matte spray is a little aggressive to me. It feels like I'm spraying my face with hairspray. And this is just like a nice setting spray without feeling like I'm like choking on aerosolized hairspray, you know? Okay, it's almost time for us to wrap this up because this is becoming a very long video. Adept Cosmetics, they are sneak peeking a new palette. This is going to be another 15 pound eyeshadow palette. I'm interested in this. Like, I know that you guys have heard me talk about Adept and their Seahorse palette, like these last 2 videos, and how I feel about the price of that. But don't get it, like, confused as to me, like, trying to, like, talk smack about the brand. I like the Adept formula. I really enjoy their shadows, and ever since they have switched out their old matte formula for this new matte formula, Chef's Kiss, I really do enjoy the Adept formula. Both their like smooth, creamy multi-chromes as well as their more chunky multi-chromes. I really appreciate their formula. But I am hoping and praying that the price of this new palette that's coming out is more in line with the Inspired palettes, the Ninhydrin palette, even House of L pricing, because that is what my brain and my heart can accept. I cannot, and I have not been able to bring myself to buy the Seahorse palette because I just cannot wrap my head around the price of it, and I cannot justify it in my mind. So I'm hoping that this is not another all multi-chrome palette that is going to cost $140, because I just don't think that I could buy it. It would just be a dumb financial decision for me and my finances. But if it is like the price of the Inspired palette, or, you know, even plain Jane, like those are like $58, $64, you know, $65. Like, those are things that I can handle. So I'm hoping that that's what this is. I will say the outer packaging is adorable. That little pink orange combination, I'm here for it. And since this is, I think it's going to be a fall release, I'm expecting some oranges, some warmth to it. I think it's called, yeah, the Sumerian Sunset palette. It's gonna be cute. Well, it's gonna be warm. I can't say it's gonna be cute. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm excited. And I do get excited for depth releases because I do like the brand. And I do think they put a lot of thought into how they curate their palettes. So I will definitely be on the lookout for this. And depending on what the price is looking like, I'll be picking it up. Okay, and I think that, yeah, we can stop here because I think we already talked about this Too Faced Cosmic Crush palette that's coming out. It is pretty, but it's $52, and Too Faced is definitely not worth that. And it's going to end up at the CCO for at least half off. So wait till you get there. And if you're lucky, it might be on a 6 for $60 sale at the CCO, so you could get it for $10, which is significantly more than half off. And these two little baby palettes, this Brown Sugar Cinnamon, it's a neutral palette from Too Faced. You have it already if you even have any Too Faced palettes. And this Frosted Strawberry, it's a pink palette. You don't need it. For sure. And this will also end up at the CCO. So just, you know, wait a little bit. I promise you it will be there. Wait, now, hold on. Okay, last thing I want to talk about because I just peeked this. Mez Beauty, they have a 12-pan eyeshadow palette. 12 shades. It's a neutral palette and it's $26. The Swarthy palette. This is cute. And the price is even cuter. So, I've never heard of this brand before, though. Where are they even from? And it's black owned? Okay. Now, ma'am. So, they have a really nice profile. It looks like it's a very small brand. So, black owned. All the products are cruelty free. It doesn't say handmade or hand pressed, so this might be a pre-labeled, private labeled formula, so something to keep in mind. But these swatches are cute, and I love me a good neutral palette. I am that basic Betty, you guys know. And I love supporting a black-owned business, and my interest is peaked. I'm adding this to my wish list. Okay. And this is why I follow Makeup on My Radar, because she finds these new indie brands that I've never even heard of and puts it on my radar. I wasn't even planning to do that, but now that I did, it's like actually cool. Because this brand, their Instagram page only has 5,000 followers, so it's a pretty small brand. But now that I know about it, I'm following because I'm very interested in seeing where this goes, what else they have to offer. Because this is, what did I tell y'all this was? 12 shades for $26. When was the last time you hear an eyeshadow palette start with a 2 and a 6? Okay, anyways. All right, y'all, this is going to be a long video. Let me scooch back in the middle. Okay, so that's it for this video. Here's the thing with this series. What I want to do is I want this to be a bi-weekly series every 2 weeks because I don't have the capacity to commit to doing this video every week. That being said, I'm realizing that if I do bi-weekly, it's going to be a very, very long video. So but that's the cadence I could do for now, guys. So I hope you guys don't mind. Hopefully that this can be a premiere because I know for me, I enjoy having my longer videos be premiere so we can talk about things. So that's the plan going forward. I can commit to doing this every 2 weeks, and I love doing this video, but I can't do it weekly as of yet. So that's that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave your comments down below. I particularly want to know if you guys are planning to pick up any of the palettes that I talked about. Let me know what you're interested in, what you're not interested in. What do you think about the prices of some of the palettes that I showed you guys and talked about today? Because I'm excited because I feel like I'm beginning to see more and more brands that are in a little bit more affordable range. And maybe it's because my mind has like been directed to some of these cheaper brands. That being said, I'm trying to push this less. So there are very few of these things that I'm actually buying. And like I said, a lot of things that piqued my interest are going on a wish list for me to just marinate on it and figure out, do I really want this? Versus me just getting hyped over seeing it. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. Like I said, don't forget to hit that like button, leave your comments down below. If you haven't already done so, subscribe and join the fam. You know it's a vibe over here. As always, I appreciate you guys so much more than you know. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!